Who's this geezer? My name's Nathan. It's recovery month. If you've not been keeping up and don't know why I'm about to say this, it's 2001. And that's your fault. You should have watched all the previous ones. No time for you, so sit down and shut up. I used to work in finance, etc, etc. So it's 2001. 2001 Space Odyssey. Answers on a postcard, please. Anyone who can tell me which of the days I've previously mentioned that particular film. Actually, don't bother writing answers on a postcard, because you wouldn't know where to send them to. Small point. Ironically, we'll get a bit of a serious one out of the way. 2001 was the Twin Towers, 9/11, and strangely it is also the 11th of September today. So what are the chances? I can add nothing new into the hours of airtime and millions of words said on the subject. I can only the only bit that could be added, I suppose, would be my experience of it, very briefly. I think for me, how old was I? 23. For me, growing up in the 80s and the 90s, my experience of America was one of films. You know, Goonies, Back to the Future, Big Trouble in Little China, The Breakfast Club, It's an Elmo's Fire, Brilliant Pink. I've said that one already. Anyway, you get the impression. Films, fantasy. It was the land of my imagination. I wanted to be American. I think every kid of my generation did. It was nothing went wrong in America. America was the land of milk and honey. You know, all the heroes were American, bar Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is now American, I think, but wasn't born there. But it was this invincible land of fantasy. That's what I perceived it as. I wanted to eat a Twinkie, and I wanted whatever that was, and a soda, and drive around with Ghostbusters. And on that day, that bubble was burst when this is only a personal experience for me, that land of innocence, that land of impenetrable force and sanctity was proven to be as vulnerable as anywhere else, and with the death of that illusion of invincibility, so I think my childhood gave up a little bit of itself, and we were launched headlong into the kingdom of fear that we now live in today, and the world was changed forever, wasn't it? You know, the world of paranoia we now live in did ultimately spring from that one moment. I'll say no more on it, except to say that it was a tragedy. Moving on, what else have we got here? George W. Bush. Thoughts? George W. Bush refused to sign the Kyoto Agreement. Climate change is not happening. Not happening. Not on my watch. Wikipedia was launched, thank God. Again, slowly getting rid of the need. Google came in, less of the brain needed. Wikipedia now, we can dispense. And some people don't realise not everything on Wikipedia is true. People have forgotten that. People can go in and edit it, I'm led to believe, but don't trust me because I know nothing about IT. The Apple iPod has gone, is launched, is live. Was released, would probably be a better way of saying it. So everything was named iPod, iPad, it all comes from there. And Apple slowly making the world belong to them, as it now does. And fortunately, talking about bands, I always mention a band, Radiohead, still going strong. If you don't like Radiohead, more for you. So that was 2001. Oh, films, Training Day and Monsters Inc. I would say I'll be watching, watching Training Day all hard and cool. Watching Training Day after this. The reality is I'll probably be watching Monsters Inc. What have we been doing today? Well, we know what happens on the Mondays, inevitably on the Fridays. I like to just do a little bit of free work, so I've been hanging with my crew. I've had a wicked weekend, proper bruv, you know what I'm saying? Scored a queue of Pineapple Express, all good. Hello mum, no, shepherd's pie's fine. So, you get the impression. I do love hanging around with them, it must be said. Actually, rewinding a little bit very, very quickly, before we get on to my day with the crew, last night, bit of a strange one, was watching, as we are wont to do, because I'm a little bit rock and roll still, so we was watching the Great British Bake Off. And there was a bit on it, they were making these cakes, funnily enough, they were making cakes, and there was one man was making a cake involving whiskey, and he was banging on about this single malt whiskey, or I'm really into single, and my mind started getting taken away, because I'm a bit of a drink snob, back when I was drinking. And because remember I said I romanticised about it. The next minute he's going about this single malt whiskey, and I'm there in the Highlands where I've got Rabbie Burns to one side and Billy Connolly the next, and we're all up. I'm standing next to a lock, and whoa. It's not that I was physically craving the drink. It's this. These are early warning signs for me. Romanticising about this stupid thing, childishly romanticising about this stupid thing. Did the easy thing, switch the channel across. As I said, not a craving, not an urge, but that early warning signs of that's where my brain was going. It just made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. So we changed the channel. Other half was fine with it. Or so she said. So anyway, back on. Made my way out this morning to go out with the crew. Summer, I believe, is saying her last lines of the play as Autumn waits in the wings, slowly putting on her ball gown made of fallen leaves. I.e., there was a bit of a chill in the air. So got there, got on the party wagon. The ripe smell of style alcohol and foreign tobacco in the air, along with curries, garlic, and various other odours. It's quite a way to start your day, ladies and gents. I can tell you. First thing, they're all very nice, but all those smells for me, and predominantly the talk is around slowly what they've been doing at the weekend. I tend to have to tunnel vision off at that point and hope that the conversation takes a different turn, or at least I can drag it in another direction should the opportunity arise. So conversations with various people today. Once everyone was it was a bit subdued this morning. I think it's the weather was a bit subdued. There was talk of of weekend happening, trust, safe. I've no idea what they're on about half the time, to be honest. But lovely nonetheless. So I spoke to one lad who was sitting up front in the van with me, and it's funny that it's amazing how hope's so important, isn't it? A bit of hope. He was talking to me about this job had been offered to him by this local guy who runs this small wholesale business, and he wanted a sales representative, and he said, I couldn't do that, I wouldn't have a clue where to start, I couldn't be a sales representative. I said, why not? I said, the only thing I said, the key to being a good salesman is honesty. And once you can fake that, you're laughing. And I would have bought off the fella. He seemed very amiable, but he just had that total lack of faith in himself, total lack of, well, not total lack, but a little bit of a lack of hope. He was more than capable. Clever lads, eloquent enough, and and very gregarious. So I gave him this is the Lord's worked in a couple of mysterious ways today, to be honest. Well, not mysterious, in fact blatant. Sometimes the Lord works in blatant ways. So I've given him this, what can only be described as a slightly cheesy motivational speech to try and rouse him into action, get him to kill a spirit. And at the end of this motivational speech, I could have cringed. What song came on? Eye of the Tiger. There was giggles from the back, and then which turned into guffaws, and the whole moment was lost. But hopefully, if nothing else, he got a bit of a laugh out of it, and I hope he gets the job because he's more than capable. Again, the main thing that comes out of it, whilst I was doing my work, my manual labour, just so many in front of everyone else, there's talks of you drinking and you're drugging and you're how fantastic it all is and what a wonderful life, and I scored this and I did that, and I can't remember what day of the week it is. What day of the week is it, Nath? When you get them apart, there's actually they've got people do tend to gravitate towards me now just because I've been so open with my problems and what I've been through, and they actually say, actually, how'd you go forward? What'd you do? Well, I haven't got the answers, but the answer is you've admitted you've got a problem, you can't do it on your own. That's your first step. See a professional. Point them in the right direction. So that was the experience. And talking about God acting in blatant ways, I told you about the tea towels. I didn't tell you, I showed you the tea towels with the laughing Buddhist skull, reminding me of my own mortality, not to take things too seriously. Well, today in an amazing move of obviousness, God had me cleaning gravestones in a church courtyard, actually sweeping off the dates and clearing off the bracken of this situation. Oh, well, you've made your point. You've made your point. I haven't got that much to worry about. Enjoy. Seize the day. Seize the day. So all in all, good day. I have come to enjoy it. The hours are going down, and there'll be bits of it that I actually miss. Who knows? I actually enjoy being around people. You live, you learn. Hopefully. So for the rest of the day, I'm not going to bang on too much. You have to put up with this face every day for this month. You'll be going mad. So I've got to pop out anyway and get a bit of dinner. The other half's insisting. Well, I said about automotive, but she's insisting on suddenly going soup and slow cooker, and no, I'm not even putting the barbecue away yet. Or the Hawaiian shirts. So I will get her whatever she wants, but I'll be getting what I want. We're splitting ways tonight so far as dinner, but I don't know, I'll have to get in and have a look. No more words from me, even of a profound kind. I shall just say to you, be nice to each other. That's what I've got to say. Be nice to each other. And I will see you tomorrow. Laters.